Let's start. Right. So, what game are you actually playing right now?
Well, I'm like I'm currently balancing like a bunch of games. I'm trying to play through Final Fantasy 12, the re-release of it.
Yeah.
I'm still collecting all the gems in Crash Bandicoot, the new version. Like I got all the gems in the first one, and then I'm doing the third one.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other day, for some reason, just had an itch to play Sonic Heroes.
Fuck's sake.
I have no idea why, so I decided to order a copy of the GameCube version because that's the best version of the game. And I dug up my Wii and I've been playing it.
That is
and
actually quite sad. The fact that
I've been having a blast with it. So it's I don't even know if it's a great game. It's just kind of enjoyable to play. The music's really good.
I think that's the only good part of the game.
No, I was like the first couple of levels. I was really enjoying them. Then I got to the casino levels and wanted to kill somebody. So
Yeah, that's what Sonic does to people nowadays.
yeah, because the pinball physics in this game don't make any sense whatsoever.
You know something? I haven't played it yet, so I don't know what it's like. I've heard bad things about it.
You never played Sonic Heroes?
No.
It's not that bad compared to some of the ones that came before and some of the ones that came after. It is not that bad.
If you say so. I've lost faith.
No. It's better than both the adventure games. I know that's quite controversial. I know people like the adventure games. It's better than both the adventure games, and it is miles above Sonic 06. So, as far as I'm concerned, it's one of the better 3D Sonic games from that period. So,
well, let's put it this way. I'm talking to a person that's favourite game is Shadow the Hedgehog.
yeah, I fucking love Shadow the Hedgehog. What, you don't like Shadow the Hedgehog?
Never played it and never had the feeling to play it.
Oh, come on, you get multiple endings and stuff.
I don't care.
It was Mass Effect before Mass Effect existed. There was so much choice, you know. Mass Effect's just good and evil. Shadow the Hedgehog, it's good, evil, and neutral. You know, you could go neutral if you want.
No, you could go neutral in Mass Effect 3, but it's all still the same shitty endings.
Yeah. Whereas Shadow the Hedgehog had 5 shitty endings. So, no, 6 if you count the true ending.
No.
Yeah, I know, a game that's all about multiple choice, and if you get all the endings, you can unlock the last story, and it's like, what was the point in me selecting all those choices now and getting all those endings if there's a complete ending? like it's not even collect all the Chaos Emeralds to get the real ending. It's just get all the other shitty endings to get our real shitty ending.
So technically, Mass Effect 3.
Yeah, basically. except at least Mass Effect 3 was easier to beat.
Oh,
like Shadow the Hedgehog, you had to play through it multiple. You couldn't select a level and then branch off a path from that level. You had to always start off in I think it was called Ruined Metropolis or something. You always had to start off on that level.
Fuck's sake! I'm glad I didn't play it.
Oh, you should play it. It's brilliant.
I don't have a PS2 anymore.
Do you have a Xbox or GameCube? Or
no.
Do you have anything that's backwards compatible with them?
No.
I think you should buy a PS2 again just so you can play Shadow the Hedgehog.
I'd rather put my money to an old SNES.
Yeah, but can you get Shadow the Hedgehog on a SNES?
No, I don't care. I can get Super Mario.
But no Shadow the Hedgehog though.
I don't care. It was never one of those games where I went, "Oh, I need to play this." It's technically bad Sonic with guns.
Yeah, but it's also edgy as well.
Oh well, yeah. Let's go with the whole edgy thing.
Shadow even swears in it.
What the hell has Sega done?
Okay. It's not swearing like you think it would be though.
All right, okay.
It's for us, it's pretty mild. There's just one cutscene, and you can even hear the actor force it out. He's running about, and he's Shadow's looking about, and he just goes "Where's that damn 4th Chaos Emerald?" It's ooh, so he said "damn." Oh.
So it's technically a child swearing.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, bloody.
Yeah, those damn dirty apes, you know. So,
Oh, I've actually just noticed in the translator thing that's on Skype, it's actually blocking out damn.
yeah, out of all these swear words to block out, you block out damn. What if how does it know we're meaning damn as in the swear word and not like Hoover Dam?
I don't. Well, it came up there.
Oh, it did block out Hoover Dam. What do you know?
Jesus. But that's the thing. We all had those kind of like guilty pleasure games.
Yeah.
We all did.
For some reason, I played through a lot of Shadow the Hedgehog. I don't know why. I knew it wasn't good.
No, I mean, what game was it that was my kind of guilty pleasure? Let's see. I liked a lot of the old PS1 games. That was like meant to be really bad.
Yeah, but even then, those games had like kind of like atmosphere to them and all that. Like this, like for instance, I mean like Doom on the PS1 has
True.
terrible controls because they released it before the dual analog stick.
Yeah.
So you have to use like the triggers to like turn and move and stuff. But the music in like the PS1 Doom and all that was like so creepy and ominous, like compared to the PC version. It was kind of worth playing through because it was more like a horror game than a shoot 'em up.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Doom was a cult classic before it even came out on PS1.
Aye.
But I mean, as we were just talking before I started recording, one of my favourite games was In Cold Blood. And looking back on it, it's like, I knew that game was complete crap. You know how like you know how in the old Resident Evil games when you kind of walked on and then the camera would change angles and it would go so like nicely, it was so smooth. Well, in Cold Blood, when you did that, when you changed camera angles, it would like stall for about 10 seconds.
Well, one of those.
Yeah, and I generally thought it was the game I had, that I got from old Global Video. If you remember Global Video when we were kids.
I remember Global Video, but I never actually went to it. I stuck to Blockbuster, so.
Well, that's where we went every Friday after school to pick up a game.
I feel really old now that we just remembered Global Video and Blockbuster Video.
Well, it's a new age of like streaming movies and streaming games. Hell, with this new PlayStation Now thing, you can stream PS3 games and PlayStation 4 games.
Yeah, it's pretty insane. So,
but getting back to In Cold Blood, back then I thought it was a fantastic game, and I generally thought like the camera stalling thing was the game I had. But it wasn't like a good couple of years ago. I was like, I really need to play that game again because I never beat it. I didn't understand what was going on because I was a kid back then. So I was like, I'm going to buy it again. And within like the first 5 minutes of just walking up and going into the base that I had to sneak into, the camera froze, and I was like, okay, so it wasn't the game that I had that was broken. It's generally the game that's broken.
But other than that, was it just the camera, or was the controls really bad as well? Or
the controls were clunky as all hell.
Worse than Resident Evil, or
worse than Resident Evil. The way I kind of understood it from was it didn't really know if it was a Resident Evil copy or if it was a Broken Age copy. The old detective games that you had to like figure stuff out because like the restaurant blew up.
Aye.
I didn't really kind of knew what it was trying to copy because it was very similar to both. But with all these kind of copycat games like from Resident Evil kind of started it all. But you had Fear Effect. And that did it quite smoothly, but that took it on a whole new kind of thing for itself.
Yeah. That's because Fear Effect though, like, was very different stylistically as well though. Like, it was kind of cel shaded, or at least like an early version of it.
Yeah.
I never actually got around to really properly playing Fear Effect, so.
I played the first. Fear Effect was awesome. I played for the first one, and the first one was fantastic. Played for the second one, didn't beat the second one because one, I didn't have the time to do it, and two, I got stuck. I needed a lot through to get through it. It was kind of
one of those games then.
Yeah, it was kind of like one of those games where, like, this is just an example, like with Metal Gear, when you got to a door, you had to take out the key card from your inventory just to get through that door.
Aye.
Where this was something very similar, but you had no idea which key card went to which door. It didn't kind of explain it.
Huh.
So it was just one of those games. It was one of those kind of games where you had a whole lot in your inventory, and you just had to continue going into your inventory, clicking on it just to see what would work.
But did it have the to be fair to Metal Gear, while they did fix it in Metal Gear Solid 2, you didn't have to select it. It was when you think about Metal Gear Solid 1, it was still like a quick select though.
Yeah, true.
So was Fear Fight? Did you have to pause the game and stuff, or?
No, when you went into your inventory, it did pause the game. If I remember correctly, if it did pause the game,
right.
I think it paused the game. But Fear Effect was one of those games that I would love to see again. I doubt it's going to happen, but it was one of those games I would love to see a remake of.
Would you keep the same style of graphics, but make them smoother?
I would make it like Borderlands.
All right, okay.
Because that was kind of what it was back then. It was very similar to what Borderlands is now.
Aye.
With the kind of like the draw look kind of thing. I don't know what that's called. What that effect is.
Well, like draw distance and.
No, it's like the graphics itself. It's like it looks like it's been drawn instead of 3D created.
Right, like Wind Waker, I guess, or
something. Yeah, like Wind Waker.
Cell shading then. So.
Yeah, self shading, whatever it's called.
Right. Sorry, it's just I heard the word draw and I was like, what, draw distance? I was kind of like,
No, not like draw distance. Like the way the graphics is, it looks like a cartoon. Yeah. That's the way Fear Effect was back in the day. It was very kind of drawn graphics. I kind of felt like it was a very interactive comic book. That's what I kind of got from it.
Aye. Did you ever play a game called 13? It was called
13.
Yeah, it was X. It was like Roman numerals 13.
I think I didn't play it, but I remember seeing it in global videos. I didn't play it.
No. I had that in the original Xbox because I can't call it the Xbox One anymore.
That's
true. It was like that was based on like a French comic book.
Oh, right, okay.
And the game prided itself off of being like a comic book.
Oh, so right, okay.
So if you shot a guy, because it was it was FPS, but if you shot a guy, suddenly on the screen, comic panels would suddenly appear.
Oh zooming, I remember that.
Zooming in towards you, going dun 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 dun, and then zooming. It's like zooming in and the headshot you got, but it's all comic panels. And then during cutscenes, if a guy's really far away, a comic panel will appear in the corner as a close up of them walking towards you.
Yeah.
And text would appear in little speech bubbles and stuff.
Wow.
That game was really craven, all that, which it's a shame they never made a sequel because it has a bitch of a cliffhanger.
Really?
Yeah, I don't think the game sold that well, and it's annoying because, as I said, the cliffhanger is no, I just wanted it to continue.
Yeah.
But the game just it stops just when it feels like something else is about to go down that's going to be amazing and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And it had a really good voice cast as well. The main guy in it was voiced by David Duchovny.
All right, okay, I didn't know that.
And the general in it was voiced by Adam West.
Rest in peace, Adam West.
So it was quite awesome watching Batman and Agent Muller team up to take down a worldwide conspiracy of who assassinated the president. So
that actually sounds very interesting. I wouldn't mind buying it and just playing through it, but again, I don't have a GameCube or a PlayStation 2 or an Xbox anymore.
It's weird though. There was actually quite a bit of a difference between the PS2 and the Xbox version.
All right, okay.
For some odd reason, I don't I don't know which one was meant to be the like definitive version or whatever. Like, what was the original intention?
Mm-hmm.
I. I don't, because in the Xbox version, when the comic panels appeared, the characters would still move inside the comic panels.
Yeah.
But in the PS2 version, it was still images inside them.
Oh, right, okay.
And so I don't know if it was because the Xbox is more powerful, it could actually make the images move, and the PS2 they had to do some drawbacks. But at the same time, I still remember like discussing it with my brother at the time because he was the one the PS2 version, and I think I remember him saying that he preferred the PS2 version because he said the still images actually reflect the comic book nature a bit better.
Ah, right, okay.
So that weird technical limitation actually kind of made it more stylistically pleasing to some people. So.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it all kind of depends on that certain person, on what kind of style they like.
Aye.
I mean, that's the thing. It's all about that one person's style and what they enjoy most about a game. Because that's the thing nowadays. Games are coming out that are critically acclaimed games. Just try to think of one right now that's been out and that's got a massive, great review. Like Metal Gear Solid, Phantom Pain, for example. That got amazing reviews, but a lot of people didn't like it. So it's one of those things where it's kind of depends on that kind of parent, that individual.
I think Metal Gear Solid 5 is a big grey area for a lot of people. Because I don't even know if you and I agree on it. Like, I don't think anybody. I don't know if there's anybody that had like. I don't think there's a group that has like a solid opinion on it. Everyone has a different opinion on it.
Exactly. I mean, everybody has a different opinion on that game.
Because I think I like it a bit more than you do.
No, don't get me wrong. I love the game. I think it's the best open world stealth game. Like the best.
Yeah, I think it's the greatest achievement in the entire series when it comes to gameplay.
Yes, that's very, very true.
Even more so than 3, which I think the gameplay in that's amazing. Just that little addition of the camouflage system changed a whole lot in that.
Yeah, very true. I thought Phantom Pain should have got a 10 out of 10, personally. But seeing as I've played it a good couple of times, I do see a lot of kind of small things that shouldn't be given it a 10, and it's all to do with the story. Everything else is fantastic. I couldn't fault the game any other way. It's just the story that's my big thing. I wish missions were more kind of flowy in a way instead of the whole TV series thing that they had going on.
It felt like you were kind of watching a box set of like the A-Team or something like that.
Yeah.
Like,
that's what I got from it.
No, I see. In terms of the story of the Phantom Pain,
yeah,
I think it's a good story presented, not that great.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people I know that said it's a bad story, and I thought no, it's a decent story that you could just tell. Either he didn't have enough money to present it, or he was trying to present it in a different way.
No, I kind of got the idea that it was a fantastic story that he just didn't have the time to do it because Konami kind of put a time limit on him. Because if you bought the special edition, then you got the extra part.
The extra mission that.
Yeah, you got
cut from the game. So
yeah, because it left. The thing was they went, oh, this is a game that's going to close up a lot of cliffhangers, and it did. It did close up a good amount of cliffhangers and a lot of things that were still open, but it also left a lot open. Because if you didn't,
the thing that was too open was the Psycho Mantis thing.
Yes, so. It didn't explain that whatsoever. It was just that kid was there. You knew if you were a fan of Metal Gear, you knew who he was. You knew exactly who that character was. the fact that they took, Liquid and Psycho Mantis took, took Metal Gear off, like just took it away, and didn't explain it unless you bought the special edition or you went on YouTube.
Yeah. I had to go on YouTube to find that out and all that. So,
I mean, that was one thing. Like, see, when the game ended, I was kind of like, but what about Liquid? What about Psycho Mantis? What about the Metal Gear?
I was also annoyed that like you got to see Liquid Snake as a child, but there was no Solid Snake at any point in the game.
See, that was one of my biggest concerns about it, because like when it got announced that it was Keith Sutherland as Big Boss, don't get me wrong, I thought he was good as Big Boss, but I thought it was opening it up for a remake of the old Metal Gear games.
Yeah.
Because me and my mate Gary had this massive discussion about it. We had this theory that they were keeping David Hayter away from the Big Boss voice acting, just so at the very end, once you've like completed the game 100% and you end it, you finish the game again, you got this secret cutscene of Solid Snake appearing at Outer Heaven or Outer Haven or whatever it was called. Then
it was Heaven, I believe.
Yeah. So. Of him just coming up going, Big Boss, I'm here, and it was David Hayter's voice. Then on the comms you hear Keith O'Sullivan's voice talking to Solid Snake, and I thought that would have been a fantastic way to end it.
Yeah, I think they should have borrowed do that, but borrow the dialogue from the beginning of Ground Zeroes.
Yes.
So like have him like climbing or swimming through a thing just like I'm approaching Outer Heaven, and it'd be like, excellent job, Snake, like you're doing pretty good for a rookie or something, and when you see him stand up and all that, he goes, kept you waiting, huh?
Yeah.
Like like people would go absolutely nuts at that.
Exactly. That's what I kind of got the idea of what was going to happen, and I feel like I hyped myself up far too much for that idea, that I was extremely disappointed with the ending. I understand what Kojima was trying to say, that Big Boss, that character was truly you.
Yeah.
But it was one of those things where it was like, you could have ended it better. We knew you were leaving Konami, but you could have left it better. You could have left it open.
Yeah, it was like, because the thing is though, no matter the journey, a lot of people will remember the ending most.
That's true.
And so the thing that Kojima left us on was, I retconned a thing that you didn't really think about too often in the Metal Gear franchise. All he did was explain how does Big Boss survive the first Metal Gear game.
Exactly.
That's all he did.
Yes.
But the other thing is though, there is something that is in the game, but as I said, it's all about presentation though. We don't get to see any cutscenes that conclude Zero's story.
Very true.
Instead, you have to beat the game, and then you get all the tapes.
Yeah.
And it's all audio, and it's not even the same guy voicing Zero.
Oh yeah, that's true, isn't it? Shit.
Yeah. There was I actually saw like a interview with him online, where he actually was offered the part.
Yeah.
And he said he turned it down because the pay that they were going to give him was apparently pennies.
Jesus.
And they tried to tell him, oh, but you're not actually like, your character's face doesn't appear in the game, and he's like, it's a game though. Like, like who cares if he has a face or not in the game? Like, I'm providing a voice,
Yeah.
Everyone's providing a voice.
I mean, that's the thing. The way I kind of get it is like, a voice actor should be paid, how many hours, they do the voice work for. Even if it's for an hour, they should at least get paid a good amount. Because you have like fashion designers working on film sets that are getting paid like $650 a week. a voice actor is putting their voice, to use. And that can be very strenuous on the voice if they want like a different voice, or if they want a different pitch or tone to the voice. They should get paid a bit more.
Yeah, the way game companies treat voice actors is quite shocking.
Oh, is it?
Like how easily some of them get replaced as well.
Yeah.
Like and a lot of them don't understand that a lot of us do actually get attached to the voice of a character.
Exactly.
They seem to think because they're not physically playing the role, it means that they could just be swapped out. But the problem is, David Hayter's a good example. David Hayter is Snake.
Yeah, he's solid Snake. Simple as that.
Even if like we agree, yeah, Kiefer Sutherland was fine as Big Boss. It's like doesn't change the fact that a lot of people wanted to hear David Hayter.
Exactly.
It's actually one of the things. Sometimes it even turns me off from like buying some games. Like I really like Splinter Cell Conviction.
Yes.
That was actually quite a fun game, and then the sequel was Blacklist, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
And they got rid of Michael Ironside,
which made no sense.
Yeah. So I just didn't buy the game because I was like, well, one, to me, Conviction felt like the last one, yes. or at least an end to Sam Fisher's story. So if they were going to make another one, I was just like, it better be another guy. But no, it was Sam Fisher again. He wasn't Michael Ironside. The character also didn't look the same. Like, he looked younger. Like, I actually thought that game was a prequel looking at it, and then I found out, no, it was actually a sequel to Conviction. Yeah, so, like, yeah, stuff like that can really just turn people off from, like, buying games sometimes.
Yeah.
It would be... God, I'm trying to think what... Like, it'd be like if... Batman the Animated Series, okay? Like, there's like the first 3 seasons of that, then there's the 4th season.
Yeah.
That's like the updated animation. That'd be like if in the first 3 seasons, Batman's voiced by Kevin Conroy.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the 4th season, they just said, fuck it. Get someone else to do it who's cheaper.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Or the opposite effect, let's get someone with more star power, because that'll get more people's attention. But it's like, no, I liked Kevin Conroy as Batman,
But Kevin Conroy is Batman.
Yeah.
He's like, Batman.
If you had to do a top 5 Batman actors, he'd probably be number 1 or 2.
He's number 1 mainly for, just the voice alone.
Yeah.
It's the same with Mark Hamill. He's the Joker.
Yeah. The only time it made sense to replace them was for Arkham Origins, because that was a younger Batman and Joker. But
I was very surprised at how well both of them kind of done.
Yeah,
though
I knew Troy Baker was going to do a good job, but I was actually shocked how good Roger Craig Smith did it.
Yeah, though,
because every time, no offense to him, but every time I hear his voice, I just hear Chris Redfield.
Yes, though there's one part where I think it's like the first time you meet Penguin. And you beat him up. Well, it's a cutscene. You beat him up, and and he slams him down. And he does this like gritty kind of voice. And the only thing I could think of when he did that, and I burst out laughing when I first heard it, was all I heard was "Swear to me," the Christian Bale, and I was like, where the hell did that come from? I literally just burst out laughing at that part because I couldn't take it serious, because whenever I think, because a lot of people have taken the utter crap out of that line.
Yeah.
I laugh at it so much because
where were the other drugs going?
That part isn't that bad. It's that swear to me, because I've heard it in so many trolling videos. And
yeah.
There was one trolling video of this guy's playing they're playing Call of Duty, and this troll keeps getting into the same match as this one person. He keeps trolling him, and he's just getting to the point. And all of a sudden, the person the troll's trolling just goes, "Dude, I swear." And just out of nowhere, all you hear is Batman go, "Swear to me!" And then the whole chat just bursts out and bursts into laughter. And it's just one of those things where it's like, you can't take that line serious anymore. I can't watch Batman Begins and kind of getting intimidated by that because I laugh at it.
Anyway, to dial it back a bit more to the Phantom Pain.
Yeah.
I think when you really think about it, the person who really got the most amount of time voice acting was is his name James Horan, the guy who voices Skullface?
I think so. Yes.
I think he may have actually got like the most dialogue in the entire game.
He got the most dialogue, but he had the most shittiest character.
But yeah, that's the thing. A lot of people seem to think that his character was underutilized as well.
He really was.
But here's the thing. That's another thing about the presentation. I think Skullface may actually be a great character. That the problem is the way he's presented makes him seem like kind of a shit character.
Mm-hmm.
And that is, when you really think about it, the title "The Phantom Pain" isn't about you, the player, or because the ending is like, no, you were Big Boss the whole time or whatever. You know, the player's Big Boss. But to me, it's like, wait, so I'm not. Does that really make me the Phantom Pain though? When you think about it, Skullface is the true Phantom Pain.
Right. Okay.
Because if Skullface didn't do half the stuff that he ends up doing, Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 4 would never have happened.
Yeah, but that's a paradox right there.
No. Really think about it. He's the one that puts Zero in his coma, meaning that the AI is the thing that takes over. Because when you really think about it, Zero was willing to forgive Big Boss.
Mm-hmm.
And then Big Boss woke up out of his coma thinking Zero was behind everything. But in actuality, Skullface was the one that put things into motion for like Cypher and all that.
Yeah, okay.
But then he ends up getting killed off. Nobody gives a shit about him. He's not in it. He's like, and when you think about it, he's never mentioned any of the other games because that was his purpose, was that he was a guy that like you didn't talk about him. He was that secretive and all that.
Mm.
That to me, that's the true Phantom Pain. If it wasn't for this one fucking guy, none of this would have actually happened, probably. So in that sense, it's actually quite a clever setup for a villain, but I feel like we needed to see his journey more. Maybe show some flashbacks to like Metal Gear Solid 3, where he's always in the background or something. Have Big Boss go through like photos or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like maybe the bit when he's like shaking hands with the president or something, and there's just like a guy in the background, and it's Skullface, but maybe like before he was scarred or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just like something to really give a history between the two, and really give his motivation of like fuck everything, like some weight, you know.
Very
like
true.
He just wants everyone to suffer, and he even knows when he's about to die, nobody's going to remember me, but the mark I've left in history. Like that's what it is. Just his action, that's what he'll be. He won't be remembered, but the action will be remembered. He created the Metal Gear in that game that was the closest towards what the later Metal Gears would be like. If he hadn't commissioned that, maybe Metal Gear Rex and Ray wouldn't have been advanced as they were. You know.
Very true.
But once again, just the way his character's presented, though, it's like, eh.
No, I mean, I liked Skullface. I thought he was a deadly character in Ground Zero.
He's like really evil in Ground Zero.
Then just in Phantom Pain, he's just meh. It's like,
Major, I'm burning up.
It's like you.
That bit.
Yeah, it's like you didn't explain anything. It's like you.
He just shouts a lot.
Yeah, I was expecting like a proper battle with him.
Yeah. I thought there was going to be like a fight on top of the Metal Gear, like in the first game or something. You know, like
yeah. I was just expecting a battle with him instead of just, boom, you're dead. Bye.
Such a lust for revenge. Like,
exactly, yeah. I just never kind of, I I didn't care for Skullface.
God, the cutscene in the car.
Oh fuck!
Just like the bit when the song came on was fine because it was kind of like snakier when you're climbing the ladder and all that.
I think that's what they kind of wanted, but it went on for far too long.
No. The problem is, I feel like what Skullface was saying might have been more compelling. Had Snake actually said anything?
That's true, because Snake just sat there and did nothing.
Yeah, because even if in the first Metal Gear Solid game, a lot of Snake's dialogue is just him questioning stuff. Even if that's all Snake does and all that in that game, imagine if you took it out and you just had long scenes of Liquid and Otacon and Colonel Campbell just rambling on, and Snake is just sitting there silently. You'd be bored out of your mind.
That's freaking true.
Whereas having that little interlude of just what are you trying to say, helps a little bit, it's now he's moving on to a different topic or something, it keeps your attention a little. Whereas when Skullface is talking, it's almost like the scene The Matrix Reloaded, where the architect is explaining the Matrix.
Oh God!
Where he just goes in a 10-minute long ramble about creating the Matrix, and Neo just stands there listening to him. It's like
honestly,
it was like that.
Every time I watch that scene, my head hurts. I'm just like, what the hell is he talking about? I know he's trying to explain, the whole backstory of the Matrix, but fuck's sake.
I think I know what he was talking about. The problem is the language they used for him.
Don't explain it. Don't explain it.
No. I'm not going to explain it. I'm just saying, the language he was using. Obviously he's speaking English, but every single word he used, it was like they looked up a thesaurus and looked up the most fancy word for every single thing that he could possibly say.
Vis-a-vis.
To make it sound like what he's talking about smarter. He's just you are the construction of the construct of the millennium of the. It's no, stop. Just talk normally, layman's terms. Come on.
Jesus, but you're right. Skullface monologue it felt like that. It was pointless. It was boring.
Yeah, and
it was a 10-minute.
Snake to just. I just want Snake to just go. Well, you just go. How's that justify what you're doing or something? Just once or something.
Exactly. It didn't kind of.
He doesn't. So
it didn't bring anything to it. To be honest, that's what I feel. Just this 10-minute loading screen. That's what I kind of got from it. It was just a 10-minute loading screen.
Yeah. You don't feel any connection between the villain and the hero.
You really don't,
because he just sits and he listens to him. It's like that you two don't have any. He's going on about you and I are connected in so many ways. It's like I don't feel connected to you though, because I'm not talking and you're just rambling. So
I mean, that's the thing. In Ground Zero, I felt he was actually an incredible threat. Then in Phantom Pain, he was just not.
Yeah, because he wrecks your shit in Ground Zero.
I mean, he wipes out your team.
Yeah,
and then in this one, it's just no.
It might be one of the greatest introductions to a villain ever when you think about it in gaming, at least.
It is, but it's
and in Ground Zero, there's just so many times where you find him, and then he just goes. He might as well just say, "I could just kill you now, but that's it for me. I'm out of here."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's no. Why isn't he trying to kill you? I mean, there's just so many opportunities where he could just kill you, but no, he just runs away, even though you have no power over the situation.
Exactly.
The Skullface of Ground Zeroes would have just fucking shot you, probably. I mean,
no, right. Well, we're on the topic of bad enemies, bad villains. What's your worst villain you can think of in a video game?
Worst video game villain.
Yeah.
Quite interesting actually. Because you get ones they're quite bland,
Mm-hmm.
Ones that are just well, the game needs to have a villain, so.
I mean, I'm not talking about the villain's character. I'm just saying you just got to that last boss and he was just terrible. Just everything you thought it was going to happen didn't happen, and it was just a terrible, ending.
Did you ever? Oh God, I'm going to talk about Sonic again.
Go away.
Did you ever play Sonic Chronicles?
Chronicles
That was the RPG on the DS.
No, I didn't.
It is Sonic's first and only RPG, which is a shame because I feel like that could. I mean, Mario's had great RPGs, so why can't Sonic have a bunch of great ones?
Because it's made by Sega, and Sega's crap now.
Oh! Here's the thing, though. Sonic Chronicles is actually made by BioWare.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not joking.
Really?
I'm not joking. It was really made by BioWare. Sonic Chronicles, yeah. But you want to know something amazing about Sonic Chronicles, though?
What?
It's fucking shit.
Yeah, I kind
of. It's really weird though because I actually liked it when I first played through it.
Mm-hmm.
But the more I think about the game, the more I just think like that game was actually kind of shit, and the ending is one of the worst endings in video game history.
Mm-hmm.
So the villain, I can't even remember his name. He's like an ancient echidna.
All right, okay.
Or something. Like he's maybe like an ancestor to Knuckles or something, and he's trapped in like the negative dimension or something like that. Standard RPG fare. And you rarely see him throughout the entire game, which is annoying because to me a lot of RPGs are driven by their villains.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the villain in that is really lame. You barely see him throughout the game, and then what happens is. You gather all the characters together, and you meet Dr. Eggman, and he says that he has a device that will send you to the other dimension. However, though, someone needs to stay on the other side to make sure you guys can come back and all that.
Let me guess.
And he says, "Well,
it's Eggman that stays back, isn't it?"
Yeah, he stays back. So they leave. You go fight the villain. You beat him in like for some reason I seem to remember the moment you get in this other dimension, you beat the villain right away. Mm-hmm. You barely get to spend any time in it. And then you go back and Eggman has conquered the world, and that's the end of the game.
Oh fuck's sake!
It just abruptly ends with Eggman's conquered the world. Oh no, what do we do? And Sonic and Tails proceed to have a conversation about the creation of BioWare.
Wait, what?
I'm not joking. That's how the game ends. It ends with Eggman's taking over the world. So Sonic and Tails decide, right, the game's ending here. Now let's talk about how BioWare came into being.
Oh, God.
I'm not joking. That's actually what happens at the end of it.
I'm so glad that I don't play any more Sonic games.
Also the music in that game.
Yeah.
I would love to be able to demonstrate some of the music. If I play some in my browser, would you be able to hear it properly? Or
yeah, I don't think so.
I'll try.
I'll put a song over the edit, so they can we can hear it.
Right.
Okay.
Well, I'll just try and play it just now and see if you can hear it through my microphone or something.
Okay.
This is not the music from the game, okay? This is from Sonic 3D Blast, okay?
Right, okay.
Because this track was reused as one of the main themes in Sonic Chronicles. This is probably one of the best tracks in Sonic 3D Blast. Bear in mind, it's a good track. It's called Diamond Dust Zone, okay?
Right, okay. It's very catchy.
Yeah, it's a good track from that game, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is Central City, which is a reused version of the track.
Right.
Now, bear in mind, this is a DS game, okay? This should have better sound quality than a Mega Drive game, okay? But oh god, if you ever want to show anyone terrible video game music, this is it, okay?
Okay, go on. Are you fucking serious? Really?
Yeah, that is actually it.
For fuck's sake.
Shadow the Hedgehog has better music.
Wait, that's for the DS? Did you say that's
That
from
was
the...
for the that was yes, that's from the DS.
For fuck's sake.
That is the same system that gave us Elite Beat Agents, bear in mind. So
That generally sounds like a kid's just playing on one of those, kiddie pianos.
Yeah, it sounds like something like a Digimon would make, you know?
Exactly.
Like that feels like the theme song from like old Tamagotchi or Digimon or something, you know? So
It sounds far too 8-bitty, and it's not good.
no, it sounds worse than 8-bit. I mean,
Fuck. That's bad.
Yeah.
No, I've heard some
We
we should do like a whole podcast on really crappy gaming soundtracks.
No, we should do a podcast where we just play the entirety of that track. So
I can actually play it in the background.
I mean, come on, you don't. Yeah. Come on, it's a great song. Come on.
I'm gonna go shoot myself now. I'm honestly so glad that I don't play any more Sonic games, but that apparently coming from BioWare, holy crap. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it might have been a BioWare rush job, so...
Yeah, but that's the thing, no game should be rushed. Like, no game should be rushed.
But, do you not know, though? Sonic needs to go fast.
For fuck's sake.
Like,
I don't...
You know, the catchphrase "gotta go fast" is actually the tagline at Sonic Team headquarters. That's how they make every game.
Gotta go faster. No,
it's just like they're just constantly like, getting whipped and stuff if they're not going fast enough.
Did Sega make Alien Isolation?
Yeah, they published it and Creative Assembly developed it.
Alright, okay, so right.
Because I believe Sega does own the publishing rights to Alien for gaming at least. So
right, okay, that's fine because I was kind of wondering. I was thinking to myself, if Sega made that, then that was at least one good game that they've done recently.
What was it called? It was an Alien game on the DS. I think it was called Alien Infestation. That was also published by Sega. That's also quite good.
When was that? No, I mean like created. I thought Alien Isolation was created by Sega, but if it was only published, then
Yeah. They usually just publish the.
No,
I don't know how many games Sega actually develop anymore. So
they had a hand in Alien Colonial Marines.
Yeah, but that was created by literally everyone though. So
yeah, that was passed on to like so many different companies.
Like Sega gave that for BioWare to not BioWare. I mean, Gearbox to make. And then Gearbox passed it around to literally everybody else.
Fuck.
And then I guess Sega got a hold of it at one point to try and salvage it, and they just couldn't. So,
right, here's the thing I have with video games should only be, designed by one company. It should only be designed with one company. I mean, two at the max. But
right.
if it's passed around constantly, then you have another Duke Nukem, or you have another Alien Colonial Marines. It's these companies who have different ideas for what they want to do with that title, and then all things just get lost in a shuffle of these different companies wanting to do something in their style to it, and it becomes a complete crap fest.
Aye. From what I can see here, what I'm reading, there are actually a few Sega games still made in-house.
Right.
The Yakuza games are made in house.
Yakuza, I haven't played that many.
So there you go. But they do get good reception quite a lot of the time.
Very true.
So that means that Sega does still develop good games. Then they also still develop Super Monkey Ball games as well. So
what the fuck is Super Monkey Balls?
You've never heard of Super Monkey Ball?
Is that the thing where it's like the monkey that's in the hamster ball?
Yeah, and you go around a maze and stuff like that. Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Well, those games aren't terrible. Like,
I think I played one of them when I had a demo of it from my PS1. You know, you got like demo discs from magazines.
It wouldn't have been on PS1 though,
or PS2 or whatever it was.
Yeah. So,
you know, and I just that's all I can do is just.
The Game Boy version was good. Like, I'm not joking. The Game Boy version was actually quite good.
What Game Boy though?
The Game Boy Advanced.
I didn't really play that
because it was able to accomplish like a 3D effect on it.
All right, okay.
And you'd think like the way the controls originally worked was sometimes like you shifted the controller about and stuff to like turn the table that the ball was on. There was actually a device inside the game cartridge, so you could actually move the system and the ball would move.
Oh, that's a good thing.
So the Game Boy Advance version was actually really, really good.
I'll have to look into that and see what it's like. Because you know you can buy like emulators, like SNES emulator and stuff like that.
Aye.
So I might actually do that. You know what I was actually thinking about playing, like doing a let's play of a couple of weeks ago. I don't know if you ever played it, but it was Avengers Assemble, and it was for the SNES, and I think it came out for the Sega, if I remember correctly.
Do you play as Captain America and Iron Man in that? Or?
Yeah, Captain America and the Avengers. That was what it was called, Captain America and the Avengers.
Right. Yeah, I've heard that. And the characters Captain America, Iron Man, Hawkeye, and Vision, I think.
Was it Vision?
I think Vision is like the fourth character.
If that's Vision, then fuck's sake.
Yeah, I always, like, I've talked to some people about that game before, and when you mention that Vision is the fourth character, everyone just goes, why did they pick Vision as the fourth character?
Actually, I'm going to look that up. Captain America.
I'm pretty sure Vision is the fourth character in that. Like you got like 3 cool Avengers, and then you've just got like Vision for some reason. Maybe he was just cheap to get or something for the rights.
Let's have a look. Right, okay, here we go. Captain America and the Avengers is an arcade game released developed and released by Data East in 1991.
Oh, cool. They've made some good games, so.
Yeah, it came out for arcade, SNES, Mega Drive, Genesis, Sega Game Gear, Game Boy, and Nintendo Entertainment System. No, that was the platforms. Released on, Game Boy. Gameplay. Yeah, Vision. The Vision is... Wait one sec. Is the name of several fictional superheroes appearing in American comic books. Really? Oh yeah, it was Vision. Fuck's sake.
Yeah, but just out of all the Avengers they could have chosen, they chose Vision. I mean, not that I hate Vision. It's just that he's not like, if I was gonna like make an Avengers game,
you wouldn't be there.
At least, yeah, I'd make sure. Like from the get go, I'd have Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor.
Yeah, I'd make sure Thor was in it.
Yeah. So to me, like the roster, it should be Thor instead of Vision, but Hawkeye's there because I guess they need a projectile character, but
Yeah, but Hawkeye was pretty cool back then. Well, my character was always Iron Man.
Yeah, I've seen like gameplay where if you play as Iron Man, you can just jump up in the air and just fire lasers and nobody can hit you. So
yeah,
Yeah, that I can see why you picked Iron Man.
No,
Then.
but Iron Man was my favourite comic book hero back then. No, just the idea of
Yeah.
having this mech suit and just being able to fly around, that I thought it was a fantastic idea. I love that idea.
Yeah. Like, do you remember like superhero games before they got good? Then, obviously, that I guess that might count as one. Like before they got really really good.
I mean, that's the thing. There's really not any like, amazing superhero games now. There's Batman.
Well, but you know what I mean though. Like, we could say like in total now over the last 10 years there were some really good ones. Like, the Spider-Man games are pretty good. Batman's had good games. The new Spider-Man looks really good as well. But did you ever play? It was on the PS1. Batman Forever, the arcade game.
Yes, I did, and that game was horrible.
No, we bought it because it was just like, oh man, it's a Batman game, yeah. And then we played it, and oh man, like that's another favorite bad game of mine actually.
I didn't. I originally played it on the SNES. It originally came out for the SNES.
But that's a different game entirely, though. But,
yes, very true. But I originally played it for the SNES.
The Batman Mortal Kombat edition. So
yeah, and it was horrible controls. It was just so bad. Actually, talking about really bad superhero games. When I had the PS1, I played Batman and Robin.
Oh yes, my cousin had that, and I played it at his house.
And I remember back in the day, I thought it was a fantastic game, being able to drive about in the Batmobile, or going as Robin and going on his motorbike. And I thought it was a fantastic idea. And for ages, this was about a year ago or 2 years ago. I wanted to play it, so I downloaded the ROM of it, and I got a pretty decent emulator for a PS1. And I started playing through it, and I was like, what the fuck is this? This game is fucking terrible.
Yeah, because the movement when you get off the vehicle is like so clunky.
I know, you just can't turn.
Yeah.
And you had no idea what to do. Like, there was no objective marker.
Aye.
I think I died like 50 million times just because I always ended up in like a part of town that was like, way too high level. It was technically Dark Souls for PS1.
Oh man, technically Shadow Tower was Dark Souls for PS1, but
very true. But
we never got that game though. No, you
see that's the thing.
You should have got Batman Forever, the arcade game.
Oh, I did, but I originally played it on the SNES.
No, but the PS1 version though is so good though. Like, and by good I mean bad, but fun to play. Like, you can only select two characters in it, which is Batman and Robin.
Mm-hmm.
But like the selection screen, it was like you could they would appear, and when they appeared, they like spun around.
Yeah, I remember.
And then when you select them, you could just hear the Riddler go, "Who is Batman?"
yeah, I remember.
And then you just go about the streets of Gotham just beating the shit out of people. That and then you had like a clear all attack where you jumped up in the air and just like bats appeared, and the screen would start flashing.
Yeah, it was technically a seizure on the screen.
Oh man, great game! 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. I love that game.
No.
Did you ever beat it though?
No.
I believe I did beat it. The Riddler and Two-Face are fucking annoying to beat though. So good luck ever trying to get to the end of it. So.
Well, seeing as I have a SNES emulator right now, I possibly will download it again, or I'll get a PS1 emulator and I'll download that.
Get an arcade emulator and get the arcade original, or.
That's true. I'll need to find the right arcade machine it was on.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I don't see nowadays anywhere is arcade. Like arcades, I never see them. unless I go to like Blackpool or something.
Yeah. The arcade that's closest to me doesn't even really have that good of a selection anymore. It's all really old stuff as well.
Yeah.
Like they still have House of the Dead 3 there.
House of the Dead 3 was fantastic though.
Like it's a good game, but it's like, where's the new one?
I know, that's true.
It felt like every like year or two or something you would go in arcade and there's the new House of the Dead.
Yes, that's
or
very
there's
true.
the new Time Crisis. It was always like, oh cool, there's the new, and now it's just like, hey, you liked House of the Dead 3, right? We still have it. Because they haven't made a fifth one.
Jesus.
Technically they did make a fifth one, but it wasn't an arcade game, so.
No, I mean, I used to love, like, as a kid, I used to love going to the arcade. I mean, arcade was fantastic. I used to play Time Crisis non-stop.
Yeah, the best thing was sometimes games would get rotated quite a bit in arcades.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like games you might have played that nobody else has really played, and nobody knows what the fuck you're talking about when you might bring them up.
Yeah.
For instance, I remember playing a House of the Dead knockoff.
All right. Okay.
But it was like vampires.
I know what
Do
you're
you
talking
remember
about.
that?
Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Like,
And I think it was like
For some
Vampire
reason-
Chronicles or something.
the thing is though, I keep thinking it's called Vampire Reign, but isn't that like that shitty 360 game though?
Yeah, that's that game. Yeah.
I also thought it was called like Vampire Blood at one point, but I think it was called Vampire Night. That's what. Yeah, it was Vampire Night. Yeah.
Vampire Night.
And you played as like these two guys or whatever, and it was like House of the Dead, but you were shooting vampires though.
Yeah.
I can't remember who developed it. For some reason, I want to say Namco, but I could be completely wrong on that.
No, there was a rip-off. I mean, they technically took the Silent Hill name and they ripped off House of the Dead, and it was a bad game.
Yeah.
I remember finding a Silent Hill first-person shooter game. I think it was like on the North Pier in Blackpool. And God, it was bad.
Well, it was like official, or
I don't think it was official, but it was bad. It was a bad game. It was terrible.
I remember seeing Crisis Zone in an arcade before as well.
Crisis Zone, yeah.
Yeah, but it was basically Time Crisis, but you had a riot shield instead of hiding behind corners. The other one that was I don't know if you could call it a House of the Dead knockoff. I don't know who made it, but there's this one. I remember it was at a local cinema that had it because they had like a small array of arcade games. And instead of 2 guns, there was 3 guns.
All right. Okay.
There was 2 pistols, and in the middle was a shotgun. Because like the third character used a shotgun or something.
All right. Okay.
I cannot remember what it's called, but I can distinctly remember one time going to the cinema and the shotgun was missing because someone cut it off. because they liked the look of like the model of the shotgun they used in the game.
Fuck's sake.
Oh man, it was.
Fuck's sake, that's bad.
But I remember being quite like a House of the Dead though. Like I didn't really play it, but I just remember it was like House of the Dead though. But one of your characters had a shotgun, but nobody could use it because someone stole it. So.
But it's, right, okay. Well, we've been recording for 1 hour and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I think we will bring this episode to an end.
So basically, we just did an episode where we just rambled on about random stuff in gaming. So.
Yeah, but that's what a podcast is, though. They just ramble on.
Yeah, we didn't really have a plan for this episode, so you know.
No, but seeing as this is technically, well, even though this isn't the first episode, we recorded the first time, and you know.
Yeah, the lost episode. So
it went fine for your recording. It just didn't go fine for my recording, even though I tested it beforehand and it was absolutely fine.
We could always still publish that as like the lost episodes if people want to just hear me rambling to myself. For no,
it's like talking
to no one.
It's like a one-sided conversation.
It's like a really creepy movie where like a guy thinks he's talking to someone, but when it shows the outside perspective of someone else, he's talking to a wall. Like,
no, this is going to be the official first episode to Against the Grain.
Yes.
Of us just rambling on about old video games and talking about Metal Gear and just what we enjoy playing.
Aye.
First episode, we will have a more like kind of script based podcast as we kind of get used to this whole idea of doing a podcast.
Aye.
So, oh well. Right, well, we'll bring this episode of Against the Grain podcast, episode 1. I have no idea what the fuck we're going to call it, but
yeah,
we'll come up with a name.
I don't know, games and stuff. I don't know. So,
Guilty Pleasures.
Sonic Heroes, the podcast.
Sonic Hero, the Guilty Pleasure.
We're Sonic Heroes. I don't know.
Right, anyway, I'm going to stop it there.
Thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening.
If you're listening, you know, so.